Team USA was split in two camps, like veterans or older players and youngsters.
I'm sorry, this shot. What an old school
Like a
hook
lumberjack.
shot.
One of the few players that is white and also is wearing a headband.
I think we'll cut this.
Come on, bro.
CP10.
CP10, yeah. The world famous
The
CP10.
world famous, right?
And we are back after about a month of not being here, not watching these old games. We're back. Now we have a banger on our plate that was selected by Rytis this time. And Rytis, we're going to watch USA versus Greece 2006 semifinal of the FIBA World Championships. Can you tell us why we're watching this game in particular?
Well, first of all, of course, at the time, any win against Team USA for any European team was something huge. But personally, I chose this game because it was played on the 1st of September, 2006. As you know, the 1st of September means the opening day of new school year. And the World Cup was hosted in Japan. So we had a significant time difference, let's say. And I believe this game was played around 10:30 or 11:30 local time in Lithuania.
PM or AM?
AM in the morning.
Oh, okay.
So early in the morning, we had all these school activities, you know, the opening ceremony of the new school year and everything. And of course, I have to go there. My parents left for work. I went to school and I knew that Greece-USA semifinal is going to be on after an hour or so. So I sneaked out earlier from school, left everything, and just rushed back home to watch the game. I tuned in the middle of the first quarter, I believe.
Actually, it's great to hear that the game was played on September 1st. So it explains why I have no memories about that game, actually. So I probably was fully into September 1st festivities in Panevėžys. So I probably didn't even watch that game, actually. I know the highlights. I saw the highlights, but September 1st for me was more important than USA Greece.
Yeah, I was actually 9 years old. I wasn't even watching basketball at that point, so I haven't seen this game. I kind of know who's playing, a few players, but I actually tried not to watch anything about it, so I react as naturally as possible. So let's not wait for anything. Thank you guys also for the feedback from the last episode. And if you like this content, please give us a like, and let's get into it right now.
Let's get some.
Oh, you're getting the drinks ready, everything.
Yeah. So what was also interesting that all four semifinalists, they won all 7 games before the semifinals started. So both USA and Greece, they were undefeated, as well as Spain and Argentina and the other pair.
Guys, who's the main players on both sides? Can you try to tell me, a newbie, what's going on in this 2006 semifinal?
Well, you might be a newbie, but probably you heard of names like Spanoulis, Carmelo, Anthony,
LeBron James, Dwayne Wade.
Although we do see Kirk Heinrich in the starting lineup. At the time, a very promising young point guard from the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, because the other point guard was Chris Paul, and he was just coming off his rookie experience in the NBA. I think he was the rookie of the year that year.
And actually, no, USA failed in this one game, but in general, Coach K had a clear idea how they need to approach these international tournaments. He realized that they need more shooters, they need big players that can space the floor a little bit. So the idea behind this roster was good.
Yeah, LeBron, Melo, and Wade, they were co-captains of that team.
And you see Elton Brand, one of the veteran players on the roster.
I'm just not sure if you could call him veteran that year. He was 27. So, I mean...
So that means that the rest are really young, actually. 25 and under.
Yeah.
Basically, the main, let's say, core of Team USA was pretty young.
Yeah, pretty young, besides like Brad Miller.
Actually, Brad Miller and Michalis Kakuzis, they were the oldest players on both squads. They were 30 years old. Come on, Michalis Kakuzis was a big role player
Don't
for Greek
disrespect
national
our
This
team.
name
Greek
is too
audience.
funny. I'm
Don't-
sorry.
don't
It's a
disrespect
funny
the Greek
name.
audience.
It's a funny
You
name.
saw the title Melo, 22 years old. You know,
Okay.
I believe he was playing him, Wade, and LeBron after their third year in the NBA.
Yeah. So was this the debut of Coach K in Team USA? Was this
no.
the tournament?
No,
Or-
he had FIBA Americas in 2005,
Okay.
but FIBA Americas is basically treated as just a qualifier for the Olympics, I guess. And this was bigger. This was the World Championship in 2002. The last World Cup was hosted in Indianapolis, and they had NBA players on the roster. They had some good players like Baron Davis, maybe Paul Pierce was there. They really had some good players, but they failed. They lost in the quarterfinals. So
2004, we know also
they failed in the Olympics. Bronze medal is never enough when you're American. So in this tournament, they were serious, definitely serious. And I wouldn't say that they were not focused against Greece. We will see later on that the Americans missed some open shots, but basically Greece just ran their offense like crazy. And I think that we should give more credit to the coach, Panayotis Giannakis. Brilliant job he did in this tournament.
So so you said Team USA, I kind of got the core players, but let's say Greece.
Theodoros Papaloukas.
Spanoulis wasn't that
in the previous Eurobasket, right? He was the 10th, 11th player on the roster. This whole team was about Theodoros Papaloukas, one of the best point guards of that decade.
What
also,
about
Dimitris was also there. And
you see the big man Lazaros Papadopoulos with a headband. He looks very old school, but he was a very physical player dominating in the paint. They had two really strong centers, Papadopoulos and Schortsanitis.
One of the few players that is white and also is wearing a headband.
I think we'll cut this.
Come on, bro. Do you know any other white players who are wearing headbands?
Greece had great guards, not only Diamantidis, Spanoulis, and Papaloukas, but also help from Nikos Zisis, for example. They
Nikos
Hatzivretas, a good shooter. They had a very good perimeter lineup and also strong big players, centers, and forwards like Fotsis. Who else was there? Kakousis. The only regret, I believe, that they could have won gold medal. Spain in the final was without Pau. So basically Greece did a miracle winning the semi-final, but they didn't get the gold medal.
Oh, that's nice.
But I couldn't tell you what's his name.
Nikos Hatzivretas, man. Panathinaikos legendary role player.
All I'm here to do is ask questions.
USA is playing Elton Brand as a center. It just shows how much Coach K adapts to the European basketball, because in the NBA at the time, Elton Brand was a classical power forward, actually.
And they also had Dwight Howard on the roster. He was
this team?
Yeah, he was a sophomore of Orlando Magic.
Who was the backup for the Greek centers?
Sofoklis Schortsanitis.
Oh, okay.
Schortsanitis was
21 years old.
Okay.
I think at the time he was just making a name for himself. There he is on the court right now. He was drafted by the LA Clippers. Later he had some health issues, right? He had some health issues, but we can remember him dominating for Olympiacos, for Aris. I'm just not sure if it's Schortsanitis or Schortsanitis.
I think it's Schortsanitis.
I would say it's Schortsanitis. And the name Sofoklis is just, it sounds great. I love these Greek names. That was the key playing Team USA, to limit their fast breaks. So in order to do that, you must not turn the ball over and finish your possession with a good shot. Whether you make it or not, it has to be a good shot so that the players behind you will be set to go back on defense. You don't go for second chances, for offensive rebounds. You need to limit the transition, and there it is. That's what I've been talking about.
I think that at one point Sofoklis was around 170 kilos or something. He really had some health issues, weight issues. At one point, I mean, to eat 4 pizzas of 8 slices was like a normal casual thing in Sofoklis'
And
office.
when he was shooting free throws, I remember my father was saying,
he's actually 21.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he doesn't look 21 at all.
Okay, at that point he wasn't like 170 at least. Okay, around 130 or 140, but still. He was huge. And Spanoulis just checked in. He was 24 at the time, and he was just coming off his first year with Panathinaikos. But I should say that it was a successful season because he was averaging around 15 points. But again, I mean, the last Eurobasket, he was just a bench player.
Spanoulis is number 7, right?
Yep.
Oh my God, I couldn't recognize with that full head of hair. Actually, it's not a usual sight.
I think the commentator heard their joke, so he was laughing so much. And Wade was the NBA champion. It was 2006. He won the championship with the Miami Heat and Shaq on his team.
Yeah, they came back from being down 0-2 in the series against the Dallas Mavericks. Could have been the first ring for Dirk. Wasn't meant to be.
Did the Greeks have any NBA players? Not really, no?
They had players with NBA experience, like Fotsis, but that was that was
That was
it.
pretty
probably.
much it. Yeah.
So knowing the result, this is a big upset then, because you would say the NBA players is a good metric to say how strong is the team. At least now it is for sure.
It seemed like that at the time. Americans probably saw Greece as a bunch of no names. They do know who Pau Gasol is in 2006, but they don't really know what Spanoulis is.
One of the assistant coaches of Team USA, Rudi Tomjanovic, before the game in one of the interviews, he said that our defense will focus on Diamantidis because he's a shooter. When Diamantidis heard that story, he was like, I think they made a huge mistake on the scouting report because he was not known as a, let's say, shooter. Okay, yeah. He could shoot tough three-pointers as he did in the Eurobasket 2005, but he was not like JC Carroll.
He called bank.
Off-board.
Nothing you can do that about that. He just called bank. That's Spanoulis. He's also not a shooter. It just happens that in important games he's hitting every shot. Americans are playing good, aggressive one-on-one defense. You cannot say that they are not respecting the opponent.
Superman is just killing them. Team USA was split in two camps, like veterans, older players, and youngsters.
I'm sorry, this shot. What an old school.
Like a lumberjack.
Shot.
I actually just noticed that it was back in the day when the three-pointer was closer and the paint was shaped like I don't know how you call that shape, but
yeah, good point.
It was different.
Good point.
So Schortsanitis, I know his strengths, but what about Papadopoulos? Papadopoulos, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a post-up center.
Just a big presence
an old school
paint.
post-up center, very physical player who is good playing back to the basket.
Defense-wise?
I mean, defensively, he needs to protect the paint. I think in nowadays basketball, he would be exposed more on the pick and roll defense, but so far so good for Greece.
You saw Nikos Zizis on the end of the bench of the Greece. He couldn't play after the group stage game against Brazil. He was elbowed by Anderson Varejao.
Oh yeah.
And I spoke with my colleagues in Greece. They told that it was life-threatening. And he couldn't finish the World Cup. Okay, he was on the bench. He felt better. I mean, he recovered. But I mean, it was that dangerous that it was life-threatening. And actually, it united Greece team even more after that incident.
How was it life-threatening, though?
It was just a huge hit. I mean, I think that Varejao hit him on purpose. It was like he was like a bulldozer going into his face. That looked bad.
And that's the worst part.
Ooh, nice.
When you don't create a good shot offensively against Team USA, they get the rebound and they just run.
Yeah.
That's what the crowd expected in this game because it was, I mean, full of Japanese fans. Obviously, it was not so easy for Europeans to travel to those long trips to support their national teams. And the whole Saitama arena was full of Japanese people. And of course, they were supporting Team USA. And it was like, all the setup was for Team USA to succeed in the tournament.
That's a great fast break, but then we saw a great crossover by Spanoulis.
Can't believe 17 years later, LeBron James is still doing the same things, really. He can still do the same fast break dunk right now.
And Dwight Howard is now in the Philippines.
No.
In Taiwan, I'm sorry, yeah. And in
participating in a three-point contest. It was just about hanging in there.
I feel like
as long as you don't have
team.
For every team against USA, as long as you don't have a double-digit deficit, you can still do something in the game. So now they're just down by 7. It's all good, and you see a fast break. Diamantidis scoring.
Just recently, they were up by 11, and there was a funny story, at least quoted by Denver Post, that at that particular moment, LeBron James ran through the court, and he said to to Team USA bench players, that they don't know what to do. I mean, he felt that they were already down, and like this is it. This is the breaking point of the
Greeks
game.
don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Spanoulis against LeBron. It's so iconic.
Schortsanitis missed that two-handed dunk.
High pick and roll.
Theo Papaloukas goes all the way.
Easy.
Theo Papaloukas. And Greece have fought
And
back.
since this LeBron's quote, the Greeks made a run 9-0 or something, and they completely turned around the game.
And when you're guarding LeBron, that's the best shot you can get. You just
another offensive rebound and another jam by Dwight Howard. That's crazy.
Even the ref was excited.
Yeah, you saw how he called the end one like, oh my gosh!
That was very good defense, actually. They just couldn't box out Superman because...
he's a Superman. Yeah. It's pretty self-explanatory.
They're just forcing LeBron to take jump shots, and they're living with the consequences. That's basically the only way.
No question about it. You can feel it. Up ahead to big man.
Okay.
And just like that, it's 36-35.
Before this game, Sofo played only 19 minutes in previous 7 games, and he barely made the final 20-man roster. Panayotis Giannakis was seriously considering cutting him before the tournament because he was just out of shape. I mean, running back and forth through the court. I mean, it was a huge effort for Sofoklis.
Who's the wing there with the ball?
Pass the ball inside.
I'd say
easy
Kakiusis.
money.
It's Kakiusis.
At one point of the second quarter, when Dwight Howard was also on the court, and when Sofo started dominating, he said that, man, what the hell are you doing in Europe? You would be killing in the NBA. Actually, Elton Brand, after the game, he just figured out that LA Clippers drafted Schortsanitis in 2003 draft, and he discussed the possibility of bringing Sofoklis to the NBA with the front office people of LA Clippers.
I like that every single time you say his last name, you say it differently.
If I remember well, Spanoulis was labeled as Europe's Tracy McGrady, and even McGrady made some fun.
No, he called himself like that, I think.
Oh, Spanoulis called himself.
He said,
T-Mac told us the story that Spanoulis approached him and said, in Europe, I am Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, Spanoulis had balls.
We did a nice video on it. If you haven't seen it, check it out about Vassilis Spanoulis. We got all those stories in there for you.
11-point lead out of nowhere. Honestly, America is playing decent basketball. They're just missing shots and free throws. And Greece is playing very smart. They're not making any turnovers. Of course, you need some luck when you're playing USA. And they had all the luck in the world.
I feel like that's where the pressure starts. When you are down 14, it's not all jokes anymore.
They just keep making shots.
Yeah.
They had one of the best backcourts in I would say in the whole World Cup competition with Diamantidis, Papaloukas, Hot, Spanoulis.
And in one game, things can happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you take this game as an example, you would think that Greece is the best team in the tournament. But again, I repeat myself. In the final against Spain, without Pau Gasol, they had no chance.
Drives in all the way, and it gets out to Spanoulis, who has enough time.
Okay.
Drives in and scores for Greece. How's that for a finish to the third quarter?
It counts, right?
Which has been
it looked like it got off at the time.
What a small lineup they're playing, right?
You're talking about the USA?
Who's their center?
Of course.
LeBron?
Yeah, LeBron and
basically, in 2006, Coach K is already playing positionless basketball with LeBron, Melo, Joe Johnson, Shane Battier, and Chris Paul.
So if the pressure wasn't there yet, now it's definitely on for the Americans. Although, like you said, maybe the World Cup is not the big deal, but I feel like even in this game,
when you have a roster like that, you're just expecting.
And I mean, they had those failures in World Cup and Olympics.
If that went in, that would have been
a dagger already with 6 minutes left.
Yeah, this team was really under heavy pressure. I mean, after 2004 failure, everybody was just laughing at them. They even created some songs about them.
Oof. That's goaltending, I think. Oh, foul.
And one?
Yeah. And then one.
Damn.
Just protecting the paint.
I feel that pressure is getting
they started to
into
get
their
nervous
heads right now. Especially for these young players, they don't have the experience to deal with this down 11 in the biggest world stage, You're down 11, you're in your third year in the NBA, you're in this foreign, territory.
Although, again, let's be real, they're not treating this as the world's biggest stage.
But still, you have the Team USA, you got the flag of America on your chest.
I get it, but you always have the confidence that, okay, next summer we'll bring all the best players again and we'll definitely win it.
So, but do the players think that? at
really
that
doubt
moment.
it.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm pretty sure they do.
But they already, they were coming off this shameful experience in 2004.
That's what I'm saying. I think they should feel pressure.
For all of them, there's no bigger stage than the NBA playoffs, honestly. And if someone's thinking that this is more important to them than the NBA finals, then I mean, come on.
I'm sure it's not, but I'm just saying it's still big. It's not just a regular game,
No, for
It's a
sure.
semi-final,
I'm not saying it's a regular game. I'm just saying that they don't treat it as the biggest stage of basketball. They win the NBA and they call themselves world champions.
I know. That's true, actually. Ironically enough, this is the game where they could have, gone to the World Championship final, but...
Again, they switch. Schortsanitis has a mismatch with LeBron, and
they
it's a foul.
have to do hack a Shaq, probably.
Hack a baby Shaq.
Yeah. Or baby hack, baby Shaq. No?
yeah, baby hack Shaq. Yeah, that's the one.
In the corner,
crazy.
Kurt Heinrich for three.
Okay. That's a good game, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good
Thank
game.
God that comeback I was talking
That's
about
a
is
quality
here.
basketball game
and
because
both teams are playing great basketball.
As I said, to me, it's about Greece rather than about USA failing. You could sense that even though this game happened, that this team USA will definitely be back and they will win the gold medal eventually.
Has ever had an equal in the World Championship. It is phenomenal.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
That's some
oh yeah,
sportsman, like,
oh yeah, you didn't know that was gonna happen. They don't know this. Well, they probably know over the course of the
I think he said something about
championship, but
motherfuckers.
you know those fouls when they just hug them?
That's in the NBA is just a normal foul.
Yeah. Please tell us in the comments whether it's Schortsanitis or Schortsanitis.
I'm pretty sure it's Schortsanitis.
Yeah, I'm also pretty certain.
2 minutes to go. Spanoulis open for three.
I wonder.
Yeah,
Then Spanoulis is
they
so
don't know
hot.
about the legend of Clutch Spanoulis, But that's where it was born. These kind of legendary moments was building the Kill Bill's name,
I think Americans just slept on it. They won the bronze medal game and they went back to their own business. That
But
they didn't create a good shot this time. I think that's the breaking point of the game because if they hit a 3-pointer, they're still in it, and now I think it's
at
too
this
late.
moment, definitely the Greeks are feeling. Wait a second! I think we are winning. We are winning this game.
I wish we had Greek commentator on this game, or at
This
least
would
for
be
the end of the
insane,
game.
I think it would be insane. But 6 points is a different story.
Just a year before, in the Eurobasket semifinals, Greece was down by 7 points in the last minute of the game against France, and they won that game. So
I actually thought about picking that game because of that crazy ending.
We have time, guys. We'll watch all of the games. I
But
think.
so far we're just watching all the Greek victories.
That's
love
why
Greeks,
I
man.
hope the Greek fans are appreciating our effort to watch your guys' best games in the history.
Yeah.
We'll see what we'll watch next, but yeah, whatever.
we're also waiting for
finish
your
this one.
suggestions in the comment section.
I think
For sure.
Žalgiris Alba this week was a pretty entertaining basketball game. We should rewatch it.
They need it quickly, LeBron. Do something.
That's a good
Oh,
shot.
this is the best shot I could think of.
Ooh,
There you
and
go.
Sofa
Shot.
did his best.
You wanted
So it's
the
only
N1 as
4-point
well.
game.
Well, they're already doing the... Well, I guess... It's a bit early, no?
No.
36 seconds?
Decision.
What if you
No.
defend
No,
for
it's-
24?
So what do you
You
have?
have
12
12
seconds
seconds.
left?
Quick 3.
Still.
And if you
then-
don't,
yeah, that's true.
if you don't get the rebound or you concede points,
Of course, that's
you're
smart
done.
to put Sofa on the bench,
Who
knowing
did
that
they
they're gonna
foul,
foul.
though? Who did they foul?
Accuses.
Accuses.
Was this the sending to the free throw? Okay.
An experienced player. Played in Barcelona, right?
Mm.
So, reliable option for Greece.
Yeah. They always had those smart role players like Schortsanitis, Kakousis, Hatziveretas. Great team players.
So they're gonna foul again, of
Yeah,
course.
just gonna go back and forth until USA
I can
misses a
smell
shot.
the
That
adrenaline.
looked like a... What happened?
Oh my gosh, they
5
like the ball.
seconds.
Oh, wow. Okay.
5 seconds.
Maybe you were right about fouling early.
That's a good decision, but just a very, very bad shot. CP10.
CP10, yeah. The world famous
The
CP10.
whole thing was right.
Yeah, I remember the days when it was only 4 to 15, right?
Yeah.
That was the numbers, selections you could do. Jersey numbers. Weird thinking about it now.
Maybe that's why Agent Zero never played in any tournament.
Actually, Agent Zero, before the tournament, he said that USA won't win the championship because he didn't like that all the shooters were on the bench and all those slashes were on the starting five.
And he was in the
Invited.
preparation team.
I don't remember.
Gilbert Arenas,
I just remember that Chris Paul in the tryouts, he was playing against Luke Ridnour.
I think in the exhibition game, because Lithuania played USA in South Korea, I believe, in an exhibition game before the tournament, and USA didn't have the final 12-man roster yet. I think Gilbert was on it.
Okay.
It's over. It's over, guys.
It is. It is.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow. What a win.
Greece
What a
has
win.
done it.
What a huge arena, actually. Man.
Can you imagine not winning the gold medal after this? Because in
Done.
2004, Argentina upset the world, beating USA, and they went on to win the gold.
Yeah, and all was a historical World Cup final for Greece. I mean, there was like funeral atmosphere on the plane way back home. Although whole country was celebrating, it was a huge success for the team. But all the players, they understood that they wasted such a great opportunity to win gold, and actually that was their last final for the Greek national team.
It's like, imagine you're playing a computer game, you beat the final boss, but then you get killed by some
NPC that's very weak.
yeah, exactly. Like, and you're thinking, I did the hard part.
What are your impressions about the game then?
You saw it for the first time in your
Yeah,
life.
that's actually my first time watching this game. Pretty. I don't know. Maybe I'm not Greek. That's the problem, that I'm not so emotional. But no, it was a good game. It was a good game. It reminded me of those times when Lithuania was very close and then didn't get it, or got it in 2004. But that I watched after it happened a while ago. But I can sympathize. I know that feeling of you're against Team USA and then you win it. That's I imagine a great feeling for the whole nation. And then, of course, we know the aftermath is a bit crazy. But
you know, at that time, I was always cheering against Team USA. Right now, I don't see things like that anymore. I appreciate the American players a lot more, but at that time, I was a teenager, and to me, every single tournament was just about how any European team could beat USA.
Team USA, 2004, 2005, we don't count, 2006. Was this the worst period for Team USA? Or even we go back to 2002?
2002,
yeah,
Indianapolis.
So those 4 years, was that the worst that Team USA has ever been?
Since they started
from
playing
92
with professionals.
Yeah. It's pretty much it,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And
I mean, right now, you could
argue.
You can say in the World Cup again, they were experimenting. They didn't even make it past the quarterfinals.
but they recovered quickly.
But they won the Olympic
That's
gold.
true.
So
Yeah. And actually, this was the single loss for Mike Krzyzewski in his whole tenure in the national team.
Oh, wow.
I think his record is like 88-1. So it was his first and the last loss.
Let us know if this is your favorite Greek victory in terms of World Cups. Let's say World Cups.
International competitions, I would say.
You'd say even international?
For them, it's for sure top 3 game. As I mentioned, there was this France-Greece semifinal in Eurobasket, and of course, 1987 Eurobasket final against Soviet Union. Another big Greek basketball
some
miracle.
options, but guys, let us know your picks for, let's say, top 3 games that you remember of
Please rank
Greek national
those
teams.
games.
Yeah. And also let us know which game we should watch next. Thank you, Rytis, for your suggestion. It was great. Next game I will choose. You can give me some suggestions, but I'll probably choose something from 2010 or 11 onwards, because I have no idea about these old games, guys, and it's pretty fun for me. But at the same time, I don't know half of the players. You know, that's a bit difficult. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to press the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the way to 75,000 subscribers in this channel, and as soon as we get to 75,000 subscribers, one lucky subscriber will get a mystery prize from us as a giveaway for your support. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.